Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Cindy Sitchin and we're back with another video on this beautiful Friday, although I'm filming this on Wednesday. As you can see, we're in a totally different room. We're not in my little studio, my little bedroom studio, my little desk. It's like a black desk. And yeah, we're doing something different. It's not really art related. It's not really art related. There is art mentioned in it. Sorry if I look that way. I'm looking out the window to make sure my dad's not coming home. I'm in the living room right now. So I'm doing a story time this time around because I've been wanting to do a story time for some time now. And I just never had really anything interesting to talk about until now. And basically I'm going to tell you the story of the time that I went to New York City for the very first time. And I have my little notebook here with like everything that happened in the course of those 4 days that we were there. This trip was based on June 2nd, June 6th, 2017. So this was last year. Let's get started. So how it began, it was basically me just going through Facebook like I always do, and I saw my friend Jenny, hi Jenny, she posted online or on Facebook that she had impulse bought 2 tickets to go see this Broadway play called Kinky Boots. And the only reason why she wanted to go see Kinky Boots is because Brendon Urie from Panic at the Disco was going to be the lead. Just a brief thing, Kinky Boots is this very amazing play. It's about this young man, we'll call him a young man, who, it's based in, I think, England. Is that the right term? England? Okay. It's based there. I can't remember the specific places that they were in, but it's based in England. And it's a man whose father died, and basically his father gave the shoe shop that he owned to his son. But business started dying down, and then the young man met a drag queen named Lola. So Brendon played, he's no longer in the play. Brendon played the young man's name Charlie, so he played Charlie. Charlie met Lola, who's a drag queen, and Charlie, since the factory was going basically almost like bankrupt, I think so. Basically the factory was no longer selling, so he needed to find a new product. Lola helped him figure out that, hey, maybe he should sell boots for drag queens. And that's how the story goes, and it's a very fun-filled, LGBT-friendly play, and obviously I am LGBT, so, you know, it just really hit home, and the songs are amazing. I have some of them on my playlist, so I listen to them once in a while. It's a very nice, you know, play. It's a movie too, so go check out the movie. It's a really good movie. To the Facebook post. So I read this post that Jenny had posted, and something deep down inside me was like, I really want to go to New York with Jenny. I messaged her, I sent her a text message, and I said, hey Jenny, you know, if there's any possibility, can I go with you to New York? And I was thinking, I was like, you know, I have some money saved up, I'm stable enough to go on a trip that's going to cost a lot of money. So I was like, you know what, I just want to jump on the opportunity. I'm sorry if I'm doing this a lot. And then she ended up texting me back saying that her sister was going to go with her, and they wanted to, like, you know, bond as sisters. And obviously I didn't want to get in the way of that, so I stepped back and I kind of just let that dream, you know, go away, because I knew, you know, she wanted to spend time with her sister. I didn't want to be in the middle of that, so I just kind of stepped back and I thought, okay, I guess I'm not going to New York after all. I was going through sadness. Well, not sadness really, but like I was kind of like disappointed, but you know, I understand, like, I understand a lot. But then a few hours passed and she texts me back and says, hey, so my sister's pretty busy for the next couple months. She needs to save money. Are you still interested in going to New York? Guess how long it took me to answer her? About 0.5 seconds. And guess what I said? I said, heck yes. Hell yes, I want to go to New York with you. And after that text message, we took off. Well, actually, she did most of the work. She found, like, the hostel we were going to stay at. She found, like, the plane tickets that we possibly were going to get. If you guys are wondering what a hostel is, it's basically, it's like a hotel. It basically is a hotel. But you share a room with, like, other strangers. So it was 3 bunk beds. So 6 people could sleep in this room. So we were bunking with 4 other people. And every night it was different people. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool. And take a note that this was like months in advance. The trip was in June, and this was maybe like, I think it was like April. Yeah, it was April. like the beginning of April, I want to say. Somewhere in April. But yeah, we had like a long time to plan. So that same night that we decided we were both gonna go, we decided to like just get our room booked. So we booked a room, that was set. And then 2 weeks after that, we booked our flights, and then it all began to feel real. Because at first we were like, oh yeah, we're going to New York, but it never really like knocked us in the head that we were actually going until we actually booked the flights. And it was the most euphoric feeling I've ever felt in my entire fucking life. So June finally comes, we pack our bags, LAX, here we come. So the flight was really good. I hadn't flown in like 10 years, so obviously the older you get, the more different like flying feels. So I had a bit of a hard time adjusting to the takeoff and the landing, but it was okay. After, like, in the middle of the flight, like as the flight was going, I was fine. I occupied myself with, I think it took like a word search puzzle. They had movies on the plane, they had music, and then they had this little map on the screen that it showed like where the plane was, so it's like keeping track of what state we were over. It was really fun. Like, I kept myself occupied. It was a 5-hour flight though, so it wasn't that long, but for me it was kind of long. We landed in New York. We landed JFK at exactly 8 p.m. and we had a shuttle set up. Well, Jenny set up a shuttle for them to pick us up from the airport, so we had to figure out where the hell this shuttle was going to pick us up. Luckily, we like literally exited the doors, and then it was like all the way to the right. There was like this, I think it was like a Lyft pickup. So like they said that they would pick us there. We had this like app thing on our phone, and it said that they would pick us up at the Lyft location. So we waited at the Lyft, and then we started seeing like those blue shuttles come by. We took those shuttles, the blue ones. I can't remember what they're called. Super shuttle? We took a super shuttle. But like as soon as we were just standing there at the edge of the, you know, the curb, you could just feel the New York vibe, honking and yelling and people cursing you and just so much commotion. Like, I live in the I live in more of the suburbs of Los Angeles, but not even Los Angeles is that bad. Like, New York is totally different than Los Angeles. But it was so cool to me. Finally, aboard the shuttle, and we make it to our hostel at 10 p.m. because we had to pick up other people, obviously traffic. And within like 10 minutes of being on that shuttle, we witnessed people just being plain rude, and like even like our driver was flicked off by a guy who like, I think he wanted a cut or something. I can't remember what the situation was. Basically, there was a car in front of us, and he literally like flipped the driver off. Yeah, welcome to New York. So we made it to our hostel. We were hungry, of course. So luckily, next door was the McDonald's. So we had McDonald's at 10 p.m., 11 p.m. It was great. We go back to the hostel after having dinner, and we knock out. We're tired. But then the next day, we wake up hella early. It was 7 or 8 a.m. And then we go next door again, because it's like, I don't know if you've ever seen New York, but it's basically little businesses, like literally like this, like in one building squished together. So next door to our hostel was this little sandwich shop, and I can't remember the sandwich shop's name, but those were really good sandwiches. So we had breakfast there, and then we decided to walk to Central Park, which was literally, I kid you not, about 2 blocks away. So we like walked all the way to Central Park. It had always been my childhood dream to see the Balto statue, and we searched and searched and searched, and I had my Google Maps open on my phone, and we were trying to locate where the statue was, and without wanting to, we accidentally found it, and I'll insert a picture of it. Needless to say, one of my childhood dreams has been met, and I'm very excited that that happened. I'm very proud that I got to go, and overall I'm just happy that I got to see the damn Balto statue, because oh my god, I mean, if you're an animal lover, you'd understand why you'd want to see the Balto statue. That's me. And then after we walked a little bit, we were like, might as well go to the Central Park Zoo. It took us a bit to find it. We kept walking, and we had my maps open, and that kind of made it easier. But we were like conflicted as to which way to go and where exactly we were, so we had to like figure out that. But we got there, and we spent a good couple hours there. We literally like walked the whole thing. It's a very small zoo. It's not huge. It's probably 3 football fields put together. That's how big the zoo is. And then there's also a petting zoo. We went to the petting zoo, obviously. And I'll insert some pics. Oh, there's pictures, trust me. Then after the zoo, we just started walking Central Park. By the time we finished the zoo, it was maybe like 10 a.m. or noon between those hours. So we just started walking. We walked literally halfway up the park. We ended up at the Great Lawn where we bought some hot dogs and we just like chilled for a good 30 minutes to an hour just on the grass. And it was very relaxing. There was a lot of people. There's a lot of people, like thousands of people. And they were just all just sitting around the Great Lawn. And I think it was already Saturday. So obviously everybody's out and about on Saturday. So everybody was like playing Frisbee. There was, I think, like a baseball game going on. People just having picnics. People with their dogs. People with their kids. Like the whole thing. Like, I don't know how to explain it. So after the Great Lawn, you know, calming down and, you know, relaxing, we went back to the hostel to, you know, go to the bathroom, take a little break basically, and after that we decided to have dinner, and we walked another 2 blocks but the opposite way from Central Park, and we ended up at McGee's Pub. And if anybody knows what I'm referencing, McGee's Pub is the pub that the creators or whoever was in charge of the designing of the set of McLarens from How I Met Your Mother. So we got to see the, you know, representation of McLarens through McGee's, and it's pretty cool because they have like pictures of the cast on the wall and like them sitting at their booth and whatnot. So it was like cool. I didn't realize that my camera shut off and I have no idea what part is shut off on. Ah. So I'm just going to try recapping as best I can, and then I'll edit it later, and I'll probably insert things. But we saw the play. It was amazing. We sang, we cried. Afterwards, Cass came out to sign our playbills. Jenny got her playbill signed by Brendon. I didn't, but I did get some other autographs. And Brendon was arm's length away, so from where my camera is to where I am, that's how far he was. And the only Panic song I've known for the longest time is I Write Sins, Not Tragedies. But after this experience, like, I became more invested in Brendon and more invested in Panic at the Disco. So I know a lot more songs, and I can't wait to keep learning new songs and songs that he'll make in the future. Hopefully I can recap. If not, I'll just insert it with text in a thing. Yeah.
Hello.
Thank you so much. Brendon, you were amazing.
After the play, we were hungry because, you know, hours pass and you get hungry. And there was a pizza shop right across the street from the right across the street from Al Hirschfield Theater, So we went there, and the pizzas that they sold were literally the size of my head, maybe bigger. And I think they only cost like $5 to $7. I can't remember. They were really too cheap. It was a big ass pizza, really big pizza. Like, and the guy at the freaking cash register checked out my boobs. He literally looked down, smiled in a really creepy smile, and kept staring at my boobs. I felt so violated. But hey, thanks. At least I know my boobs look nice. Took the pizza back to the hostel. They had like this little common area, like on our floor. They have a TV. They had some board games, and that's it. And like a communal bathroom. Every room has a bathroom, but they had like a spare bathroom in the little communal area. So we ate. There was some guys that were there. We chatted with them for a little bit, and then I beat Jenny at checkers like twice. And then it was maybe 5 p.m. ish, and so we decided to go walk Central Park and see it at night, and that was kind of fun. We stayed there for a bit. Like, it got really dark. I think the highlight of that moment was when we saw that raccoon come out of the trash can and like scurry off into the bushes. That was fun. Like I said, we're animal lovers. That was amazing to us, and we were like laughing and like dying of like excitement. I know, I'm weird. I thought it was cool to see that raccoon come out of the trash can. Don't judge me. And then, ooh, even way before the raccoon thing happened, we saw, or we found one of the, I call it a lake. We stumbled upon this pond, and it had like rocks around it. But when we first found it, we saw the rocks from like far away. So I was like, hey, you know, we should go over there. There's some people like climbing the rocks. Like, I want to sit on those rocks. So we finally went around and we found the rocks. And as we sat on the rocks, you can see how like a beautiful view. I can't talk anymore. As we sat on the rocks, you could just see this like beautiful view of the skyline. And I have a picture of it. Here you go. It was just magical, and it makes you realize how small you are and how massive the world is and how beautiful the world can be. I don't know, it's just a lot of inner peace for me that at that moment. Like, I just felt I hadn't felt that calm in so long. So just sitting there and looking at that and listening to the water and watching the ripples, it was just amazing. That day was that moment was just amazing to me. So after that, we went back to our hostel, rested because we were of course tired, and we just kind of like relaxed. I think we were talking to like a few of our roommates, and we just like laid in our bunks listening to music. And I think I got like a phone call from like my family, and we chatted for a bit. And yeah, it was just that kind of night. I don't think I slept much that night though. I think I went to bed relatively late, or I just couldn't sleep. I don't remember. But I know there was like a night where I was waking up like in the middle of the night. My camera, okay. I need like a signal telling me, hey, stop recording. Next morning was our very last day in New York. So we had this full day to just explore the other half of New York if we wanted. So the first thing on our to-do list was to go to Madame Tussauds. Basically the wax museum where they make celebrities out of wax. And that was pretty fun. I got to meet Jenna Marbles and Tom Hiddleston, and here are some pictures. Of course, they're fake. They're made out of wax, but I got to meet them. And Jenna actually has like her video of making her wax model, so that's kind of what inspired me. So that's another little dream that I had, to actually go see the wax sculpture of her. And obviously I never thought it would happen. Like, I thought they would have to make one in like Los Angeles, and eventually down the line I would go see it. But obviously I don't go to LA that often, so that probably wasn't gonna work out for me. But I got to see Jenna, and of course I got to touch Tom Hiddleston's butt. Fake butt. I got to touch his fake butt. Because we love animals, and we're weird. We went to go find a PetSmart, and accidentally we stumbled across a Petco also. So we did like a 4-hour walk to go find a PetSmart. My feet were dying. Like, my feet were like, nah, I give up. I quit. I don't want to walk anymore. You can walk on your own now. You don't need me. If you want to walk, you figure it out. They just, no. Like, I had to take a couple breaks because I was in that much pain. And there was like a sharp pain coming through. It was just bad. It was very bad. But worth it. Bad, but worth it. And to give you perspective of how far we walked, our hostel was on 8th Avenue and 56th Street. 56th Street. 56th Street. And we went all the way to Broadway in Bleecker Street. Bleecker Street is way past 3rd Street. So if you think about it, we literally walked 50 50 blocks to get to that nearest PetSmart. And then on our way back, we found the Petco. But it was so worth it because, like I said, we're animal lovers. We're weird. It's an experience we have in our pocket, so that's all that matters. Then after we made the rest of the trip back, we crossed a little bit through Times Square. We found a Tim Hortons, so we went to Tim Hortons, and we made it back to our hostel. Took a nap, I think, for like an hour, something like that. And then one of our roommates, Luis, was in the room with us. Hi Luis, I don't know if you're watching this, but hello. Luis is from Brazil, and honestly, like almost all the people who were sleeping with us in the hostel were from different places. Like there was a girl from Japan, there was a girl from England, and then there was Luis from Brazil. He was like our best friend for that whole, I think, 2 days. But we decided to go to Shake Shack, and if you don't know what Shake Shack is, it's the East Coast version of In-N-Out. So we went to Shake Shack. We had to go to Shake Shack. So we went to Shake Shack at around 8 p.m. And you know how In-N-Out has a big line? Well, Shake Shack has a crowd. Well, then again, we were in New York. There's a lot more people in New York. But it gives you the idea of how much worse it looked than when you go to In-N-Out. In-N-Out is a piece of cake to me. Shake Shack, however, gave me anxiety. And then after that, Luis left. I don't remember where he was going, but he left. And then we went across the street to a McDonald's and ate our Shake Shack in that McDonald's. I'm sorry, McDonald's, but we needed a table. Because we didn't want to go back to our hostel because we were going to do souvenir shopping afterwards. So it wouldn't make sense to go back to the hostel and then go out to do souvenir shopping. So went to a McDonald's and then we went souvenir shopping. But we didn't eat McDonald's, we ate Shake Shack. And then that night ended, and before we knew it, it was time to say goodbye to New York. We didn't get to say goodbye to Luis because by the time we woke up, Luis was like gone off in his adventure. It's amazing at what time people get up, like during that, because we were alone when we woke up, and literally like all the beds were full last night. So I don't know what time people wake up, but they woke up really early to go like walking and exploring. It was really cool. To wrap things up, New York was an amazing experience. I'm very grateful that Jenny allowed me to tag along with her and experience New York. I'm very happy I went on this trip because I don't know, I can't speak. Way back there, we took another shuttle. I booked this shuttle this time, and there was some tears on this shuttle. I won't say which one of us cried, but there was some tears on the shuttle, and obviously some laughs and talking through some memories again. But it really hit us, in our heart. Like, we actually got to come to New York, and we got closer as friends. Like we barely knew each other going into this. We came back as best friends, and I really want to thank her for that because she let me go, and in the process we got so much closer together. We formed a squad. We have a squad of 3, and we're just super close, and I'm very grateful for the experience just because I got to have another close friend. We both came back as brand new people with new knowledge and new wisdom that we'll be able to carry on for the rest of our lives, so I'm very grateful for that also. But one thing that we will regret is that Jenny never finished her coffee. It's supposed to be an inside joke, I'm sorry. I really hope to one day go back to New York and maybe explore the upper half of Manhattan. I really look forward to go back to it because I did leave a piece of my heart there, literally, because I did an art drop there, and someone, I think he was a resident of New York, found it. I left it in Central Park, and within like, I don't know, 2-3 hours he had found it, and I posted it about on my Instagram, so you're gonna check my Instagram out, it's there. I also really want to see a bridge because we did not get to see any bridges, and me as the inner photographer that I am, I really want to take a photograph of one of the bridges. We also didn't get to see any like bodies of water, and I know we were surrounded by bodies of water, but we didn't get to see bodies of water. We did want to go There was like a park. I don't remember the name of the park, but it was like it was like not that far from our hostel. We just didn't have the time to go. So next time, I really want to go. And of course, the Statue of Liberty. Because when you go to New York, you have to see the Statue of Liberty. And I did not get to see, well, we did not get to see the Statue of Liberty. So that's definitely on my bucket list. I would like to go see the Statue of Liberty. I feel like it would give me some slight of anxiety. But that's okay. That's okay. I'll go for it just to experience it. Anxiety, hello. So, I want to say thank you, New York, for going easy on this heart of mine. And I've said this throughout the entirety of just planning and the entirety of after I got back from New York. Like, I was in a very bad spot mentally before and kind of during New York, though it helped me a lot. I found myself for sure. I found a part of myself for sure. I know this is so cliche, but I swear I found a part that I didn't know existed within me. I'm adventurous. I like to experience. There's just so much. I just learned so much about myself, and I can't wait to learn more about myself. So it also helped me go through this tough time. So after that tough time, and then going to New York, and then coming back, like that tough time became so much easier to get through. So I really want to thank New York full-heartedly for just helping me get through that. And you know, I just needed a vacation too. Like, it was a vacation. It was my first time actually going across the United States. Like, I always stayed in like this corner of California. We went to Mexico, we went to El Salvador, we went to Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, but I never went anywhere beyond that. And I'm happy. I'm really happy that New York was my first. And I'm hoping for this year to go up to Oregon because I want to go to Halloween Town. So crossing my fingers that that happens this year. And I'm hoping for a New York trip in the coming future. So yeah. That is all I have for you lovelies today. Thank you for sticking around. I hope I caught everything. I can't tell if my camera got it all or not. I need a camera with the freaking thing. I need a viewfinder thingamabob or the screen thing that I can't afford right now. Thanks so much for sticking with it. I hope you guys like this story time. I kind of liked it. I enjoyed telling the story. I just don't like that my camera doesn't participate with me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys stuck through. Let me know in the comments below if you like this. Give me a thumbs up if you like this. And most importantly, if you're not subscribed yet. If you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and click that subscribe button. It's somewhere down there. You know, it's red and it says subscribe. And then it turns white when you have subscribed. Yeah, subscribe. I'll see you guys next week with a new video. It's not going to be another story time. I think it's not related to one this time. I think so. I think this is the one I'm really excited for. I'm really excited for the next video. I think it's that one. But I'll see you guys all next week. Alright? Have a good weekend. Have a great week next week. I'll see you guys later. Bye!